rumble of the discourse. We've taken an abandoned concrete factory at the margins of the declining American empire and repurposed it into a battleground where 19 separate entities from across the political spectrum enter the discourse one by one and do battle to determine who controls the narrative force of the discourse. I hope you'll join me, your Southern Gothic Futurist host, dirtgod Raven Mack, for each and every episode of Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. The rules are simple. Two people begin entering the ring of our discourse, and another person enters every minute thereafter. At any point during the rumble, when a competitor is thrown over the top rope to the floor surrounding the ring, or submits to or gets pinned by an opponent in the rumble, they are eliminated. Once all 19 people have entered the fray, our Monday Night Rumble continues until all but one has been eliminated. That person is declared the winner of the discourse. Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. So we start this week with a recap of what happened last week. Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse saw 19 various political entities enter the discourse, including Vice President Kamala Harris, who had a pretty good showing, Senator Ted Cruz, former President Trump, current President Joe Biden, as well as more fringe elements. Alex Jones, the Twitter communist, Proud Boy, Antifa, they were all part of the discourse's battle. In fact, we got a few complaints this past week about fringe voices in the discourse. We don't decide what's part of the discourse. We just represent it here in our arena. But because of some of the complaints we got at this week's Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse, our commissioner, George Soros, has declared that the first person eliminated tonight will be eliminated from all future discourse. That's a pretty big stipulation, but that is what's going to be taking place here tonight. As we see the recap from last week, the Twitter communist coming out, President Biden had already been eliminated. It was a pretty good battle. Like I said, Vice President Kamala Harris had a really strong showing, got there to the very end. We ended up with the final five. Kamala Harris was in there with Antifa, Bernie Bro, the 3%er, and COVID-19, who was a late entrant into the discourse, was a shock entrant at the end, which seems interesting to me because you had figured COVID-19 would be part of the discourse, should be part of the discourse. COVID-19 ended up winning this initial battle. This week with the discourse, we've had a lot going on. Impeachment trial going on, QAnon congresswomen, a lot of various things. We still haven't gotten a stimulus package. It looks like they're cutting Medicare as part of actually giving stimulus checks, which aren't even as big as what they originally said. A lot of discourse going on. So you can see right here, the end of the match here, COVID-19 takes that broom, is beating the 3%er and ends up knocking him over the top rope and winning. And that's what leads us back to this second Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse here this week. We'll get started again. And like I said, first person eliminated is going to be eliminated from the discourse entirely this week. So keep that in mind, folks, as we go to the ring. Your referee again is a Joe Rogan podcast enthusiast. You can see that ladder's there, and Alex Jones is our first competitor coming to the ring. Again, don't forget that stipulation. The first person eliminated tonight will be eliminated from further discourse, so having Alex Jones in there is pretty relevant. AOC coming out. Again, another early draw. She was drawn second last time with Senator Cruz. She again comes out very early in the discourse. It seems to me it would be a shame to have AOC eliminated from further discourse, but that is a stimulation happening tonight. Opening bell, they lock up. And again, every minute we're going to have another person come in. We have 19 people coming in tonight. I've been told it's not the same 19. We had a few injuries from last week, people who weren't able to make it back into the discourse this week. AOC just ran right into Alex Jones and got knocked down. He's much bigger than AOC. In terms of the discourse, Alex Jones probably far bigger than he should be. AOC doing well with him in there, though. Took him to the mat, giving him a couple stomps. And we're about to see another competitor come in. And it's going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene, QAnon congresswoman from Georgia, in the discourse this week, losing some committee memberships. Some extramarital affairs have come to light, which, we wouldn't necessarily shame somebody for those types of behaviors, except for she runs on being a Christian conservative and can't support hypocrisy. But I guess if you're entering the discourse, you're going to be supporting hypocrisy of one form or another. Marjorie Taylor Greene brought that ladder into the ring, and AOC and MTG, as she started to be called, are going at it. We get a buzzer here. Ref climbing the ladder for some reason. And here comes former President Trump, who appears to have most likely survived this somewhat incompetent second impeachment that has gone on. No cooperation from the Republicans, not very well organized by the Democrats, and Trump likely surviving the second impeachment attempt. He's in there. Now again, the first person eliminated tonight will be eliminated from the discourse. Trump beating on AOC. Alex Jones going at President Trump. Big punch by Trump there on Jones. And we're getting the buzzer. Another entrant coming out. And it's the Tech Lord. The Tech Lord. Now, I had a chance to talk to the Tech Lord backstage, and his entire role here tonight is to ensure that whoever is eliminated is banned from the discourse, and that will mean social media shutdowns. Beyond a normal shadow ban, they will be completely blocked out of the discourse as much as possible. And Tech Lord just gave a devastating backbreaker there to MTG. President Trump is choking AOC. Roll up on Marjorie Taylor Greene by the Tech Lord, only a 1 count. AOC going for a pin on Trump, only a 1 count. And we get a buzzer, and here comes the Libertarian. The Libertarian's coming out. I would hate to see the Libertarian be banned from the discourse, because that'll just be more fuel for his paranoid delusions about the state of society. Ladder set back up. Libertarian going right after the Tech Lord, as you would expect. Marjorie Taylor Greene just smashed Donald Trump with one of those lobbyist suitcases and gets the 3 count, and Donald Trump has been eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has been eliminated, and what that also means now is Donald Trump will be banned from future discourse. Well, here comes Senator Cruz, and he takes a shot at Trump on the way down the aisle. I guess we won't be seeing President Trump anymore. Action continues in the ring. I'm still a little bit shocked that Trump was pinned by Marjorie Taylor Greene. He is gone. The rest of them are still in there fighting. Alex Jones still in there. AOC, Marjorie Taylor Greene fighting with Senator Cruz right now. The Tech Lord and the Libertarian. We're about to get another entrant in an already crowded ring. And it's Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, rushing directly into the ring, jumping into the action. And she nails the Joe Rogan podcast enthusiast referee before anything. We've got a pin attempt on Alex Jones, but he kicks out at 2. Tech Lord Marjorie Taylor Greene going at it again. And there was a pin attempt on the Tech Lord by Cruz, got a 2 count. Ladder set back up. We've got a ring full of discourse happening right now, folks. It's hard to follow. It's like a normal social media feed here, just a cluster of just nonsense everywhere. Well, and here comes the reply guy. This is our first time seeing the reply guy here in Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. Marjorie Taylor Greene was just pinned and eliminated, but we've all seen the reply guy show up in the comments of any news article. Shows up on Facebook is a definite homeland of the reply guy, somewhere where the reply guy thrives. Reply guy just drops AOC right on her face. And there's a pin, and Senator Cruz has eliminated Alex Jones. So Ted Cruz has knocked out Alex Jones. And here comes Mitch McConnell. Got his sleeves and his pants rolled up, getting down to work. Kentucky Senator. Not sure why you'd roll your pants up to get down to work, but that's what old Mitch is doing it. So we've got two senators in there, Ted Cruz and Mitch McConnell. Two Democratic Congresswomen, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, the tech lord still in there, the Libertarian, and the reply guy. And again, for some reason, our Joe Rogan podcast enthusiast referee keeps climbing that ladder, and then he fell off. We got the buzzer, another competitor coming out, and here comes BLM. BLM carrying that broom, ready to clean up. No shortage of white supremacy in there in the ring for him to do battle with. Pin attempt, Ted Cruz eliminated by the tech lord. So before BLM even gets in, Senator Cruz is knocked out. BLM actually lurked in ringside, taking his time, picking his point to enter. AOC just nailed the reply guy in the back of the head. Mitch McConnell gets himself involved. We've got the buzzer again. And it's Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris had a strong showing last week. Was one of the first people to come out. Made it all the way to the final five. She's got a much better drawing this time. And the tech lord knocked over the top rope by Kamala Harris and immediately eliminated. So the Madam Vice President wasting no time in eliminating the tech lord's influence. Now BLM and Kamala Harris are going at it. And there was a pin there on AOC. I didn't see who it was. And we've got a buzzer. And here comes the Twitter communist. Nancy Pelosi pinned in there by somebody. Mitch McConnell pinned. And Twitter communist entering while all this has happened. But our field thinned rather rapidly there, folks. We've still got Vice President Kamala Harris is still in there. AOC hanging tough. One of the first people in there. The Libertarian, the reply guy is still going at it. No shortage of the reply guys action tonight. BLM and the Twitter communists. And Twitter communists over the top rope. But gets back in before hitting the floor. So he was not eliminated as fast as he was last week. Twitter communists and the Libertarian going at it. That's a conversation I could avoid. And here comes the police state. Let's throw a little fuel on the fire, folks. Police state coming in. And immediately cracks a Twitter communist over the head and goes for a pin right away. Only a 1 count. BLM kicked reply guy. Kamala Harris just drops the Libertarian flat on his face. Police state beating on BLM. That's content warning. That's something that you probably don't want to see. Reply guy getting into it. Police state discourse is just a mess. BLM over the top rope by reply guy, but did not see him hit the floor. Here comes Antifa carrying that trademark sledgehammer. And BLM's not been knocked to the floor. He gets back in the ring. We've got that ladder in there that symbolized the mythology of American meritocracy. Police nightstick, lobbyist briefcase full of money. That Antifa sledgehammer is in there. By my count, we still have 4 people coming in tonight. Kamala Harris kicks out at 2. Pin attempt by the police state. Pin attempts left and right. And here comes that Walmart country music that signifies the arrival of the Proud Boy. He's got that baseball bat and goes for a pin on the reply guy right away. Couple pin attempts. Hard to follow everything going on. I believe by my count we have about 9 people in there right now. Devastating backbreaker on AOC by Antifa. And yeah, he gets the pin. That was a strong move by Antifa right there. 2 count on Twitter communist by reply guy. Again, that is a conversation I would like to avoid. And here comes COVID-19. COVID-19, Kamala Harris was pinned in there by someone. COVID-19 is coming in wearing that title belt from having won the discourse last week. So we still have 2 entrants left. We haven't seen everybody from last week. Haven't seen the Bernie bro. The 3%er. President Biden hadn't been out. And the reply guy is pinned by BLM. So the reply guy, pretty strong showing. The reply guy always in the discourse, usually anonymously, wearing those mirrored sunglasses, but he is eliminated. And here he is. Our 18th competitor is old Joe Biden, President Joe. He comes out barefoot and he's sort of lurking around the ring. Hadn't gotten in yet. Next to last man in. And he goes right after the police state, trying to reel in that police state. And COVID-19 pins and eliminates Antifa. Antifa has been eliminated by COVID-19. Guess that mask was not protective enough. And the buzzer, our final competitor coming out. Let's see who it'll be, folks. It's Bernie Sanders, former presidential candidate, senator from Vermont. Bernie Sanders has taken off the mittens and entered the discourse, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a cluster of folks, and the ladder just wipes out everybody. We've got a couple pin attempts going on. Nobody down. Let me figure out who's in there. President Biden is still in there. Police state, BLM, the Proud Boys in there. Bernie Sanders, COVID-19, and the Twitter communist and the libertarian are still in there as well. Twitter communist doing a lot better this week. He got eliminated pretty quickly last week. Well, the libertarian's going for a pin on the Twitter communist, and he has been eliminated. I spoke too soon, folks. The Twitter communist pinned by the libertarian and then hit by a baseball bat by COVID-19. Biden attacking BLM right now. Twitter communist looks like he got busted open with that bat, and he's groggy, but he's eliminated. Ladder's been set back up. Interesting thing about that mythological American meritocracy is it crumples pretty easily, yet someone is always there to set it back up and pretend it is real. Biden going after Senator Sanders there. I'm sure there's no love lost between those two. BLM kicking Sanders. And the police state is pinned by Joe Biden, I think it was. Police state has been eliminated. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? Police state is carrying that discourse belt with them to the back, though. And COVID-19 pinned by the Proud Boy. I did not expect that. COVID-19 knocked out by the Proud Boy. Getting a little revenge for his friend and buddy, the 3%er. Now, I understand I've been told told from our producers that the 3%er, Bernie Bro, both of those fellas who made it to the end last week were both injured, unable to compete this week. Sanders going for a 1 count on the Libertarian. Senator Sanders looking a little bruised up in there. Biden with going at it with BLM. Oh, Biden just took a devastating shot to the ladder, and BLM still only gets a 2 count. President Joe kicking out. Libertarian punching Senator Sanders in the head there. So it's our final 5 here. We've got BLM and the Proud Boy going at it. Senator Bernie Sanders, who's now going to pin the BLM. And that's an elimination. BLM eliminated by Senator Sanders. Always been a complaint about Bernie Sanders' campaign. Was not strong enough race relations during his campaigns. So we're left with the Proud Boy, the Libertarian, President Joe Biden, and Bernie Sanders. Proud Boy going for the pin and eliminates Joe Biden. Joe Biden eliminated. Gotta be devastating for the president. You know he would love to dominate the discourse, but now we're stuck in there with Bernie Sanders, the Libertarian, and the Proud Boy. Sanders with a roll-up on the Libertarian, and the Libertarian is out. Just like that, Sanders has narrowed it down. It's just the Proud Boy and Senator Bernie Sanders at this point. That's all that's left. Both the Libertarian and Joe Biden are still in there. Both are eliminated. Joe Rogan podcast enthusiast just kicked President Biden. Kicks him again. Libertarian's got that Antifa hammer, and our ref just hit the president with that hammer. Proud Boy confused by the meritocracy ladder and just climbs up and down and getting nowhere. You would think that poor white people would realize that eventually, that ladder doesn't actually allow them access to the upper reaches of our society. Sanders has the Proud Boy in the corner and kicks him, and he's eliminated. He's gone. Wow, just like that, Sanders has won. Biden punches him, and Sanders running across the ring there. Senator Bernie Sanders has won the discourse here tonight, folks. So just like that, Senator Bernie Sanders has won our Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse this week, folks. As always, this project is supported by my Patreon, Southern Gothic Futurism, Raven Mack. You can find that at www.patreon.com/Raven Mack. Any ideas you have, any input you have on this Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse, be sure to throw it in the comments. We will be back either next Monday or the Monday after. We're not on a set schedule, but we'll see you next time. Appreciate you checking out the video. Salam.